everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing something a little new to my channel. So I just went to the drugstore and I had every single intention to do a under $20 back to school look. Just because I know makeup can be so expensive, and as someone who just graduated college and someone who was in high school, I know that you're working with essentially no funds. So I went in there and I was like, all right, I'm going to do this $20 and under without the tax, because Jesus doesn't love everybody that much. But I was just like, all right, we can do this. And I walked in and I quickly determined we couldn't do this. I don't know what it is, but I remember, foundations being, $6, $8, $9. Foundations are like $12, $14. And I'm like, I have $20, so I can't have an all foundation look. Palettes are more and more prevalent in drugstores nowadays, which is great in some ways, but at the same time, palettes are more expensive because you're getting more product. So I understand that, but it also isn't conducive to this type of look. So I kind of had to be a little bit creative. I went to CVS, and apparently my CVS doesn't have Rimmel, because I thought that would be a pretty popular brand as far as like low cost goes, but I knew it would probably be a little Wet n Wild heavy, just because Wet n Wild is, honest to goodness, one of the lowest costing drugstore brands while not sacrificing quality. My kitty is in here, so if you see/hear her, I'm sorry, but she's adorable, so at the same time, you're welcome. So it quickly became an all Wet n Wild tutorial. So in this bag, I have all Wet n Wild products. And so I kind of am adapting this video into, it is still going to be like, an everyday wearable back to school type of look, but it's going to be one brand only. So I think I'm going to start doing this with multiple different brands. So like like a full look with one brand. So like this time it'll be Wet n Wild, maybe next time it'll be L'Oreal, or next time it'll be Maybelline. So I'm pretty excited. Some of the stuff that I got from Wet n Wild I'd never tried before, but I'd heard good things. Some things I've never heard about. Honestly, a lot of the things I'd never heard about. So we're just gonna do this together, but it's kind of also gonna be a little bit of a haul, since I literally just got home and from the store buying it. Also, if you're wondering why I look like a trash can, one, that's very rude of you, but two, you have a good point. I did just finish boxing. So I'm post-workout, so I have a clean face. I washed my face, washed my hands and everything, but I look a little scary, but we're gonna overcome that together and head on into makeup land. So I don't know how many of you have shopped at CVS, but these receipts are responsible for killing the earth. That's ridiculous to me. But I'll need that to reference prices, so I can't go it too far, but Jesus. If any of you aren't familiar with CVS, they give a lot of coupons at the very end, so minus the coupons, this is my actual receipt. These are the coupons. I'm going to set those to the side, and we're going to jump on in. So I didn't get a primer, and I don't know why, because they had a primer, and I thought about it, and then I was just like, well, I'm trying to be thrifty, and then now I don't have a primer. So anyway, I'm just going to moisturize my skin using the Cetaphil Moisturizing Face and Body Lotion and rub it on in. For foundation, I'm using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, and this shade is Rose Ivory. Now, I will not tell you how long I just stood in front of the foundations like, what shade am I? What shade? So they have Rose Ivory, they have Nude Ivory, they have Soft Ivory, and for as long as I can remember, pale was just pale. It was just ivory. It wasn't 15 different shades of ivory, so God only knows if I got the right shade, but the rose aspect, it looked like the pinkiest of the ivories, and I have very pinky undertones with my skin, so yeah. This foundation is it's called Photo Focus because it's meant to counteract flashback. So it's got on the back these little pictures of a model with and without flash, and you can see that there's no flashback with foundation. So that's kind of cool that they have that on there. Whether or not that proves to be the case, I'm not really sure. Personally, I tend not to be under, you know, a lot of flashing lights, as I'm just little old me and not a celebrity, so I'm not sure how prevalent that is for me, but, you know, for like a night out or something, or if you're going to a wedding or whatnot, good information to know. It does have a little spatula. Honestly, it looks like this one might have been used, so that'll be super fun. But it does have a little spatula as the applicator, so I'm just gonna rub it on my face. Okay, first glance, it's a little bit light, but I went with my gut. It smells like paint. Like what paint in the paint can that you get from Lowe's, that's what it smells like. Which isn't, like, it's not the worst thing in the world, I'm sure it'll go away, but, like, it's not also the most pleasant smell in the world. This foundation, just for reference, was... No. I think it was $5.99, pretty sure. My Wet n Wild was buy one, get one 50% off, so this all originally cost $50, and it went down to $38, so... CVS always does that, plus now I have a bajillion coupons that I can go back and spend another $38, so that's exciting. I'm buffing this out with a Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. It's just like a nice little buffing brush. So I thought it was going to be a lot lighter. It's not proving to be incredibly light, so it is kind of blending in more of my natural skin color, which is exciting, because I was afraid I was going to look like a little snowman. So I would say this is probably a light to medium coverage foundation. I don't think it's got, you know, a ton of coverage, but I don't think it's like it's covering some stuff. I mean, admittedly, like I said, I just came back from boxing, so I'm expecting my cheeks to be a little bit pinker, so I'm not expecting it to color all that. But I definitely, just in general, can see like a little bit how my skin isn't the most like evenly colored, how it's still showing through a little bit, so I'd honestly even consider this maybe a light coverage. I did not get a concealer because I figured I would just add on a little bit of extra foundation in the places that I need it the most. So, oh gosh, okay, sorry, just it went everywhere. Just going to add a little bit more of this. And obviously, like, Wet n Wild has concealers. For one, I wasn't like super impressed with the selection, but mainly, in my opinion, because I did have back to school in mind also, like I had said, you don't always need a million products. Like, you can multitask with products, which is kind of the route that I wanted to go originally anyway, but I just didn't realize, like, I wouldn't be able to get, like, anything with $20 that I had originally had in mind to spend. But, like, you can use bronzer, like, your bronzer can be from an eyeshadow palette, or your blush can be from an eyeshadow palette, or your eye look can be from a blush and bronzer highlight palette. You know what I mean? So, like, products are definitely multifaceted. It's not like you get one product and you're like, I have to use this for bronzer because it was marketed to me as a bronzer. Like, makeup is versatile and creative. You're allowed to go outside of the lines with it, so that's kind of what I was trying to do, but it just didn't all end up that way. But honestly, I felt like I was able to build this coverage, back to the product, I was able to build this coverage pretty well for underneath my eyes. So I'm happy with that. Moving right along, I got the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Pressed Powder, and this is Warm Light is the shade that I got. So it looks like this. And we're going to open this bad boy up. I'm just going to press this all over the face to kind of set everything that I've got going on right now with a Real Techniques powder brush. So I'm just going to swirl it on in. I've never used this before, so I've used the Wet n Wild translucent powder, which is literally just white, and that, like, was okay, nothing too crazy. I don't really remember anything, like, standing out about it. So yeah, I think that went on pretty evenly and everything. I feel like my skin feels like maybe a little bit sticky, but not unbearably, and I think once the powder has time to, you know, do its thing, that'll help. So that's powder. For blush, I should have thought this through a little bit more before I put on powder, but here we are. I got the makeup stick. This packaging is like, it's probably something that a 2-year-old could open, but I am struggling with it. Yeah, definitely should have reevaluated prior to powder, but here we are. Wet n Wild Makeup Stick Blush, and the shade is Peach Bums. So this is what it looks like. It's literally just a stick, and then it's like got a little rounded, and it, you know, comes up and down, and swatched on. This is really pretty, actually. Swatched on, it's a nice peachy color with some golden undertones to it. So it's really pretty. I wish I could turn my makeup light on, but I look like a ghost even more. Like, oh, but I am going to just put this on with, and just rub it on, and then I'll probably blend it out with a stipple brush, but stay tuned. Yeah, definitely going to blend it out. I'm going to use an e.l.f. small stipple brush. I'm just going to turn this off so you guys can actually see me. It's like nice for me, but I know the lighting is garbage for you guys, so I like you guys and what you can see more than what I can see. So it's got a nice little iridescence to it. It does have like a goldeny shimmer to it, which is pretty for sure. Like I said, I think that I should have thought this through a little bit more and done the cream prior to the powder, but it's okay. I don't think it turned out bad or anything, and I don't think it caked up on me at all. So I definitely like it. The only thing is it does feel like a little slippery, like even right here on my hand. So I think that you definitely need to like blend it out and make sure that it's not gonna go anywhere, essentially. So even setting it with a powder brush may be a good idea, but I only got this for the blush. So yeah. For bronzer, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild bronzer in Goddess. It looks like this, and it's just kind of nice with my skin tone. So I'm just going to use this with an e.l.f. complexion brush, which I have determined is like my favorite brush for putting on bronzer. Like, it's just nice for my skin, I think. My little flyaway hair is getting everywhere. So for highlight, I'm going to use the Mega Glow Hello Halo liquid highlighter, and this shade is Halo Graphic. Looks like this. It honestly is like a white pearl iridescence type of shade. So let's break into this bad boy. Okay, so when you're opening it up, so it's got a little doe foot applicator here with the product on it. So I'm just gonna dot like 3. Okay, that's bright. Not a problem. Just more than I was expecting. But, as Laura Lee and Nikki Tutorials say, there is no such thing as too much highlight, so let's blend it on in. I'm going to use another stipple brush. This is just a Luxie 524T. It's a little baby. That's very pretty. It's got like an iridescent, almost like purpley shade to it. I'm digging it. Digging it. So I really like that. I was very excited to try that. That's probably the thing that I was most excited to try. For brows, I got the retractable brow pencil in ash brown. So it's a little pencil here, and it's got a like the color on one end and a eyebrow comb in the other. I swear this packaging is going to be the death of me. Jesus! I have said his name a lot in this video. Okay, so yeah, it's got a little, this guy's a little baby though. Got a little eyebrow comb on that end and the actual product on this end, so it's angled, and you twist up and the product actually comes out. So let's put on the brows. I actually really like this pencil. I think it is it's soft, but it's not too soft that you're like, product falling onto your brows. It's just soft enough to where enough product is coming off, and the little comb, I thought it would be too small, but it's also a really good size. So I like that. I think it's a pretty good fit for shade as well. I was really nervous I was going to get something that's way too light or way too dark and then have way too scary of eyebrows. So for eyes, I actually got two options. I got these are actually new packaging for their color icon shadows. So they used to just be trios, and I have my old one here. I actually showed you guys this in the Makeup Bag Essentials video. So this is pretty worn, but this is the Walking on Eggshells palette, and they originally had like eyelid, crease, and brow bone, and you can still kind of see the brow bone word carved in there, maybe. There you go. So you can still kind of see that carved in there. These are new. They have eyelid, crease, brow bone, and transitions shades in here. So I got two of them. I got these two. This one is actually the Walking on Eggshells palette, just the new packaging and everything, so I was definitely needed to get that because you could see how worn my other one is. And this is called Lights Out, and it's a more smoky colored palette. So you've got your gray, your silver, your darker black, and your brow bone like white shade. So I liked those because this is a more wearable everyday, and this is more of a smoky look. So I'm going to use an All Day But a Goodie, but Walking on Eggshells because I think that's the most wearable of the two. I'm going to open it, or attempt to, and we'll be right back. I'm going to go in with the transition shade up here, and this is a new Morphe brush. It's a fluffy brush, and we're going to pack that on in the transition, or we're going to sweep that on in the crease. Not packing it, sweeping it. Pretty quickly I'm noticing that with this shade there is a decent amount of fallout. It is a matte shade, so to some extent that's expected, but I definitely would recommend tapping off your excess. Okay, next I am going to go in with a a flat brush. This is the flat brush that comes in the Urban Decay eyeshadow palette, maybe the Naked 3. It's just a flat shader brush. Flat. And I'm going to go in with the eyelid shade, which is the little pinky tone shade right there on this side that says eyelid. And I'm just going to pack that all over my eyelid. I personally always have loved this shade. This shade does seem maybe a tad bit darker than the one in the old packaging. Not like dark, but maybe not as like light pink iridescent as the one in the old packaging. So I still like it. I still think it's a very pretty color, but I definitely think that it's a little different. Okay, going back with that initial fluffy brush that I had used, I'm going to go into the crease shade, which is this darker brown, bronzy, and it's got some shimmer in it too, some golden shimmer. So I'm just going to dip my brush in there, tap off the excess, and just lightly go into the crease. Very pretty. I've always loved this palette. This is really just reiterating that for me. These colors are just so easy to work with, and I love them a whole lot. So 10 out of 10 would recommend this. And especially, I believe this was $3.49 or something along those lines. I've got the receipt here, $3.99. So I would say a great price for 4 eyeshadows. You're essentially paying $1 an eyeshadow, and I love these. So because I'm following instructions, I'm going to take a clean fluffy brush and take this brow bone shade. It is a more creamy off-white tone with a little bit of shimmer to it, and I'm just going to put that here under the brow. For underneath my eyes, I'm going to take the crease shade, the bronzy shade, with a little bit of a pencil brush and just go right underneath my eyeballs. I did not get a pencil liner for the waterline. You don't have to use one, obviously. I am, though, because I feel a little naked without one. So I'm just going to use the Makeup Forever black eyeliner pencil in M-10, and I will be right back. I did, however, get a liquid liner. So this is a liquid liner pen. It's called their Felt Tip Eyeliner, and it's just in black. So I was just a little curious as to how these would function. I'm pretty partial to eyeliner pens. I'm not a huge fan of liquid liner because I don't think it's as easy to work with. So I'm just going to try this on and see how this goes. I also did get a mascara. This is the Wet n Wild Lash Out Loud mascara in Amped Black. It's just got little pink packaging. Wet n Wild has a surprising number of mascaras. I didn't get this one for any particular reason other than just kind of thought it looked cool. But I don't know anything about their mascaras at this point, so yeah, we'll try this. I don't think I've ever tried a Wet n Wild mascara. The wand is a little tiny, and the bristles are tapered, so towards the end they definitely get very short. But let's see here. Well, I definitely don't hate it. So that's good. Just going to put it on the lower lashes too. And lastly, for lips, I got the Liquid Catsuit Mega Last Matte Lipstick. I got the shade Pink Really Hard, and this is kind of what it looks like in its packaging. I wanted to get two, but I don't know how these perform, so I didn't want to get two until I knew that. So let's see. So far, I do like them. I definitely like this color too with this look just because it's nice and neutral. It's nothing too crazy. So yeah, this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and this one brand tutorial. This lip color is drying matte, and I actually like it even more now. Yes, I like this. I'm going to have to go back for that red that I was eyeing. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them below, and be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time.